What is Halloween? Well, what is Halloween? Is it a spooky day where ghosts go walking around in the streets? Is it a day when the dead come back to life and come after you? Is it that day where superstitious things happen that are just unexplainable? Now, what's with all this scary stuff on Halloween? Is it just a scary day, or is there something more to this Halloween celebration? You know, usually when I ask people this question, what is the meaning of Halloween? I would get responses like, well, Halloween is that time when we dress up in scary costumes, we go walking around the various different neighborhoods and go trick-or-treating for candy. Now, some people may say, well, it's when I get lots and lots of candy and I give them out to kids in the neighborhood, in the streets. Candy. Lots of candies during Halloween. And, you know, they say there are approximately 25% of candy sales take place around the Halloween season. Now, this is very interesting because with Halloweens, you know, we have costume parties, we have various different candies and treats, etc. When we go to a Halloween party, for example, we have lots of food, lots of candy, maybe competition for the nicest costumes, and you see various different decorations like jack-o'-lanterns and witches and black cats, spider webs, etc., right? Scary things, supposedly, during this time. And of course, too, you have the pumpkin spice latte. You know, those aren't scary, but as you can see, they all fold into this interesting time, which is Halloween. So what is Halloween? Well, here I'd like to cover what Halloween is. And I invite all of you to please listen in closely now, because when we talk about Halloween, there are two words, hallow and ween. Originally, it was known as All Hallows Evening, right? Now, Halloween takes place on October 31st, and the following day on November 1st is All Saints' Day. Now, the word hallow means holy or saint. Did you know that? I'm serious about this. Like, for example, every time when you pray the Our Father prayer, remember how we pray? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, right? Hallowed be thy name. That means holy is your name, or sanctity, in other words. In fact, if you go to www.dictionary.com and look up the word hallow, it means holy or saint, right? Sanctity. Now, the word ween is shortened from the word evening, you know, morning, afternoon, evening, like that, right? So if you take hallow and evening and you put it together, you have Halloween. There you go. Now, let's go even deeper still. On October 31st is All Hallows Evening, right? Halloween. And on November 1st is All Saints' Day. Now, also known as All Hallows Day. And then on November 2nd is All Souls Day. These 3 days together are the Triduum known as All Hallows Tide, right? All Hallows Time, right? All Hallows Mass, like Christmas, right? So these 3 days, established by Pope Gregory III in the 8th century, became popular starting around the 11th century. So you have the evening of All Hallows Day, which is Halloween, then you have All Hallows Day, and then you have the following day, which is All Souls Day. Now comes an important question for all of us. And just a disclaimer, this is all for informational purposes only. Why is Halloween on the 31st of October every year? Any ideas? Well, feel free to put it in a comment below. But let me share with you why Halloween takes place on the 31st of October. You see, the original celebration of Halloween as a holiday goes way back 2,000 years ago to the ancient Celtic festival known as Samhain, right? Or it's pronounced Samhain. These Celtic people live in modern day Ireland, Scotland, around the Northern Europe area. And for these people, at the end of the harvest season, it's considered at the end of the year, their calendar year. Kind of like our calendar year ends on the 31st of December. For them, it ends right around this time, right? The 31st of October. And the following day, on November 1st, is a new year for them. So these people believe that on the 31st of October marks the end of one season that is the harvest season, and the start of another season. So the end of the harvest season, the end of summer into winter, right? Marching into winter. And so for these people, during the change between these two, they believe that on the night of October 31st, the boundary between the two worlds, the living and the dead, cross each other, right? They come together. And as a result, the spirits, the ghosts come crawling around, right? And the dead go walking around. And these spirits go around, scare people, cause damage to plants and crops, etc. And so for these people during that time, their celebration is just that time of year when the seasons change. And as a result of the change of the season, it's for them to connect with the other world, right? With the dead. So again, for them, the end of the calendar year is October 31st, after which all the seasons change. And as a result, on the night of October 31st, that is Halloween, All Hallows Evening, marks the day when the spirit comes out, right? The spirits come out and they try to scare people, etc., right? So over time, this tradition continues to develop, and people would gather at night around bonfires to tell stories. And sometimes they would wear animal skins, right, to disguise themselves so that if ghosts come around, the ghosts think, well, they're just like them, right, just to fool the ghosts, etc. So then they'll just continue to go away, right? And so you see this tradition, it starts here, and over the course of time, it develops, right? It changes, right? There's this evolutionary aspect to it. So when the Roman Empire came and conquered the Celtic people, they introduced something else as well, another celebration of gathering together to celebrate those who have died, right? And so you see All Hallows Evening, you see those who have died, they all come together, so to speak, right? And forms this celebration that we have now. Now, over the course of many years, as we see, and nowadays for us with Halloween, we know what it's like now. And at times it feels so commercialized. And in the commercialization of Halloween, with all the candies, all the parties, all the festivities, the origin and the history of it becomes disguised. But as you'll see, it all connects together. October 31st, Halloween. The day after, which is All Saints Day and All Souls Day. All those three are known as All Hallows Tide, right? All Hallows Time, the Triduum, so to speak. And so this is really interesting because it has this very religious aspect to it. Because as you see, the day after Halloween, we celebrate All Saints Day, those in heaven, and then afterwards we celebrate All Souls Day. So finally, just a couple other things I want to point out with Halloween is, number one, the Celtic people really dress up for Halloween, right? Because they believe ghosts go roaming around and they can ward off the ghosts, right? By wearing their costumes. And so the ghosts would just see them and then go away. Number two, people would sometimes leave treats outside of their house so that the ghosts don't come in and bother them. The ghosts just take whatever they want and then continue. Number three, Halloween, as you see, become so commercialized nowadays. And it's great. It's fun for the family, fun for the kids, to dress up, to decorate, to go around trick-or-treating. All that stuff is fun. Number four, the various superstitious beliefs that are out there, right? Like black cats or witches turning into black cats, etc. Those are all fun and games. It's superstition and it's just that, right? And number five, Halloween is just a fun day. Enjoy, have fun, and until next time, we'll see you.